All right, it's a jolly, marvelous day. Another beautiful Monday. I am Segilola, feeling great to be back at the studio. All right, Olabisi Omidireshi is here today. On Mindscope. Olabisi.
Always around anyway.
Yeah.
He's always been here.
Well, counting down. I mean, your dress is quite radiant.
You look smashing too.
Thank you very much. You know, I just have to learn from you.
I learned from you too. You're the best.
Oh,
you're the best.
Blessing. I feel humbled. Okay, today on Mindscope, we are looking at a very important topic for business people, the business-minded ones, and that is: are you an authentic entrepreneur?
Oh, wow.
Yes, I believe personally that for you to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to have the virtue of authenticity. And that is what we are looking at. That factor is something we need to consider and understand clearly why authenticity is very insignificant when it comes to growing your business. And to discuss this with us, you can. I want to believe that you'll understand my flow this afternoon. I'm going straight because I don't want this lady to leave the studio. I mean, our guest today.
Yeah.
I want her to pour out. She's just an amazing lady. There's something about her I'm yet to unravel, but I know over time, everything she's got inside, I'm going to taste. I mean, she's just full of sweetness. And that's really, I mean, it's amazing and it's beautiful. So to discuss our topic today and what it takes to be an authentic entrepreneur, we have with us a woman I would describe as a flourishing woman. Yeah, she's flourishing. She is an amazing woman of many parts. I know how to be a teacher. I know how to be a farmer. I hope I'm right. She's a farmer too, and she is the lead facilitator at Entrepreneurial Life. I welcome you to Mindscope, Flourish Adedamola Balami.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here.
A greater pleasure to have you on Mindscope. I want us to take it from that point. You know, I told you I was going to put you on a hot seat.
You said so.
So
it's getting hot already.
It's getting hot. Don't worry. This one is something that is very necessary. You're married to a northerner. Let's take it from there. This is part of the authenticity, you know.
Really?
Yes. we need to know you. I must say you are the very first woman from the western side I'm meeting personally that is married to a northerner.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's why for me it's something
there are
I want.
several of us.
There's several of you. So I want to Balami, that's from where? Borno. Okay, so what actually happened? What inspired you? What ignited that love? And you know, for me,
whoa,
we need to learn.
It's really part of authenticity.
It's part of authenticity. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we met normally like boy meets girl, but then there was that the attraction was there. He was a kind person, and. Actually, we actually met towards the end of NYSC.
Okay.
It was during the personal parade that we actually met. So the relationship was more on, long distance relationship where we're sending letters, and that made it fun. Yeah. When you have to write love letter and wait for it to reach and wait for the response.
Were there any fears whatsoever that maybe your parents or his parents or something like that?
Surprisingly, at the moment there were no fears.
Okay.
I just believed I found someone and we loved each other. And amazingly, when I introduced him to my father, he just said, okay, like Isaac came from the north to come and take Rebecca, and they hit it off from there. They just said till late in the night.
Wow.
They were just gisting. So I knew it was a good one.
Good. Oh, well, you know, when we're looking at the aspect of national interest, I believe we need to celebrate people like you. So those right now who are on that journey, they can actually have examples, examples like you. They can actually encourage them. Thank you so much.
It's nothing strange.
Okay.
As long as you have found peace and you know that there is love and kindness, and
I can imagine what
God.
people like you feel when some people begin to now talk about Nigeria dividing and all that.
That is an issue. When you start saying we must part ways, I keep asking, where should we go? Where do you want people like us to go?
Please
How
tell
do we
them.
start dividing? When you divide, where should I take myself to? Should I come to the west or go to the north? So which part of the country will my children claim?
National unity.
And there are so many people like that. So we really need to give it a thought before we say let's divide. If you're dividing, how do you divide the families?
So it's better we focus our strength towards national unity.
Yes, and resolving our issues.
Our issues.
There is absolutely no challenge that cannot be surmounted. We
That's
just
true.
need to focus
That's
and
true.
get over
That's
the
brilliant.
hurdles.
Thank you
as
very
a
much.
nation.
So let's talk about your journey. You're a teacher, you're a farmer. I hope the farming aspect of it, well, I've seen you on Facebook and I've seen some of your activities on the farm and all that. And for me, this woman, she's in every place. How is she doing it? So this journey of authenticity, really, and the aspects of business, how did you come on board?
Okay, we have dreams and aspirations.
Okay.
And every human being is a product of nature and nurture. So the environment where we grow up, the voices that we hear growing up, be it the voices of your parents or the voices of the significant people in your environment, they become your inner voices. They become your inner direction. And as you grow up, if they have been positive, empowering voices, then you see yourself channeling your life and having the desired positive results. But if otherwise, you see that you keep getting stuck, and when people get stuck in life, they start questioning. So when you get to that point where you are questioning because the desired results that you want for your life is not coming through, you need to take time to understand, why am I stuck? Why am I not getting the results? And I'm putting in the work. And that is where authenticity comes in. So many things have been said about self-awareness, and sometimes it looks as if it's just for you to know yourself and go about, this is who I am, I have a truth, my own truth, and all that. Truth is fine, but there is a standard. And when you understand that there is a standard, which is truth, for one is truth, but you need to understand who you are. Who are you?
Understand who you are.
Understand your personality.
Okay.
Understand your value. Understand your belief system. Understand how you came about those beliefs. Because there are empowering beliefs and there are disempowering beliefs. When you understand these things, you'll be able to now apply them to yourself. Being aware of yourself is not knowing that I have this weakness and I want to live with it. It is knowing the good, the bad, and the ugly about yourself and making effort to transcend them. You transcend those limitations. You transcend those things that make you, that when you get to a place where you're supposed to blossom, you get stuck. When you transcend them, you start understanding how to handle situations, and then you'll be living in the truth of who you are. Knowing that, okay, I know my triggers, but there are better ways. There are better ways to handle this situation. There is a better thing I can do. What belief is leading me to this decision? What belief can I now work with to lead me to a better decision? And that is when you are becoming authentic. You're living in truth to yourself. You're living in truth to your values. You're living in truth to your past and saying, yes, this is how my past was like this, but there is always something better. There is always a better way. And if your past has been fantastic, you also want to apply it to your present and make the best of it. So that is.
In fact, this is mind blowing, and I see it as really enriching. Some people, I would say, right now they are stuck, possibly because their world views are self-limiting or self-disempowering. And so sometimes in certain periods of our lives, when it seems as if things are stagnant and we want to move forward, but we just find it practically like it's almost not possible, we can't just do it. At times it's as a result of the self-limiting beliefs. And so we might need to collapse those, and that's where people like you come in now, because I believe that when a beautiful mind, an empowered mind like you speak, you can actually inspire others to come up and then understand that, look, they can be better versions of themselves. Now, looking at the aspect of an authentic entrepreneur, how did that come about? And then relate it to yourself. You have a story. You're coming from somewhere. You understand? And then how did you because I see you often online, you're inspiring people with transforming words. You're transforming lives. So please tell us that passion. What is driving that passion really?
Okay, the authentic entrepreneur. At some point in life, I realized that you really cannot make impact if you have not understood your authenticity. If you do not know who you are, what your values are, and you start questioning certain beliefs that you have had, you will not be able to make impact.
Okay, so that's the aspect of the entrepreneur now.
Yes,
as a business person.
Yes,
because some people just believe that, look, okay, people water is selling now. Okay, let me just plug into it.
It
and
doesn't
so
work that way.
Becoming a successful business person. It actually starts from that authenticity.
It starts from you see, not every business is for everybody, and then there are different aspects of business.
Okay,
you must understand your personality to know what aspect of that business you can plug into. You do not just say, okay, this business is marketing and it requires selling, and then you see that you're trying to sell and you are stuck. Whereas you could have a team member that will do that for you while you focus on your area of strength, and the business grows. So it's not a function of this is my next business idea and I'm going into it. Who are you? What do you love to do? What do you do? What can you do that you know people will be willing to buy? People are willing to pay for. What is it that you will do? And there's nothing that you do that is effortless, but you know you're doing it and you're deriving pleasure in it. And because that is what will sustain you when you there is always that time where you are faced with curveballs.
True.
You will always meet those challenges.
True.
What will sustain you is understanding of who you are coupled with your why. And you cannot discover your why until you have discovered who you are.
Okay, let's hear your own story now. You're talking about your own story.
Okay, so for me, when I've always been opportuned to work with small, medium scale enterprises.
Okay.
So it was like a training ground for me.
The Entrepreneurial Life, is that your initiative?
Yes, it is. Okay. So working with them, I realized that, when you graduating, you have aspirations. I want to work in this place. But I realized that I'm always in a place where we either developing a branch, we're growing a branch, we're starting, it's always like, let's grow this business. Let's start this business and grow it. And so I consider it an opportunity. Now, doing that, over time, going for different trainings, I started searching myself, what do I want to do? I realized that I would love to be an entrepreneur. The first business I ever did was a part of interior designing, where I call this beds and beddings. I was, manufacturing beddings, materials and all that. And just making the bedroom beautiful. And over time, I did that for a while. Then I realized that I could get more. So, every business I've done, I go for training. I seek opportunity to practice. Then I start, running my own business. But then I realized I always just got stuck at some point. When it's like the third year, I start having, these challenges. And sometimes it looks as if you can't really surmount them. So I started seeking knowledge. When you're faced with challenges, you seek knowledge, because every man's ignorance is his own mountain, according to what some people have said. So seeking knowledge led me to go from one training to another. When I hear that, okay, there is a training for entrepreneurs or for business people, I pay for it and I go, so that I could get light into whatever dark areas I'm having in my business. And then I realized that at some point it was no longer seeking knowledge as much as it was finding that thing that will make you feel like you're enough. It's not as if there is no amount of energy you put in. You just have that insufficiency in you. And I started questioning it. Yes, I started questioning it. Why do I feel like I'm not enough? Until I got to a point where I understood that you need to know yourself. You need to know who you are, what your values are, what you like, and you need to take decisions based on this information. They look like trivial pieces of information, but the decisions that will make you in life will be based on all these pieces of information. And how did that happen? I went for a program. During the program, at some point I knew I needed to leave that place, but I still stayed. When you are always looking for that thing that will fulfill you. Staying there, I had an accident, and then sometimes when you fall, you'll be able to think better. It was in the course of the accident that I just reflected on my life, that what's going on. If you had left, nothing could have happened. You would just have left. But now you have had an accident and you have to deal with it. And I started asking myself question, what am I looking for? What are my desires? Who am I? What do I need to know? What do I need to do better? Every business challenge is not something that is bigger than you. Sometimes you just need to put things in perspective,
Okay.
And until you have done that, you will always think that you have an insurmountable challenge. And if you don't settle to solve it from inside out. You have to solve those problems from inside out. If you do not settle to solve them from inside out, you'll be running from pillar to post looking for solution. But the moment I said, okay, let's deal with this thing, and I settled and said, what do I need to do to get over these hurdles? I found a course online which I took, and that was...
Oh, really?
It was
your answers.
It was an enlightening moment for me. That course introduced me to understanding who I am, understanding my values, understanding my strength, understanding my weakness, understanding what my areas of challenges and how to deal with them. And when I realized that, I applied it to myself. I found peace. I applied it to my family life. I applied it to my business life. I applied it to my parenting life. It just makes sense. Once you understand that about yourself, you can do it with your children, you can do it with your spouse, and then you start using it also in building your team in your business, in determining the scope of your business, in understanding what you can do in the business,
your
and what
employees
exactly
true.
And what you will need others to do.
True.
There is no absolute person. There is always that place for you, for someone else to come in and complement your giftings, your skill, your competence, so that the business can grow. So an authentic entrepreneur needs to know this. So we don't just wake up and recruit.
That's true.
You build your team because you know that for every individual entrepreneur, you need like 4 people around you to make it work.
You know what I can see right now is someone who wants to build, maybe a high-rise building. Of course, the foundation has to be very deep. And in respect to building a business, I see that factor of authenticity as very vital for one to actually resolve. It's more of a foundational material, and that is exactly what you have to build other factors upon for you to have a lasting business.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Olabisi.
Okay. What I want to say is the fact that in all of this, first off, you must discover who you are, like she said, and be truthful to yourself. I like the fact when she said she attended all the seminars and events and workshops, but there's still something missing. She didn't follow the Joneses, basically. So you need to know where to drop the line that, okay, this is what I want versus what I don't need. There's a difference between your need and your want.
Yeah.
And then be bold enough, regardless of where people are watching or whatever are saying, it takes you to win you.
So be bold enough to be you.
Yeah.
Okay, for those who want to get in contact with you, your Facebook or LinkedIn details.
Your
Facebook.
My Facebook is Flourish Adedamola Balami.
Flourish Adedamola Balami. Okay.
I think it's the same for LinkedIn.
It's the same for LinkedIn. Okay.
And then there is the Authentic Entrepreneur.
Okay. That's also on Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's also on WhatsApp.
All right. Because this kind of conversation needs to continue. So for as many people who want to get across to you, please feel free to get in contact with Flourish Adedamola Balami. It's been an amazing moment, speaking